This crazy. Hey y'all. Welcome, welcome. Y'all, I'm over here watching a loop. I'm watching a loop of let's see. Okay, I'm watching a loop of a conversation that took place. It was called the Saquon Barkley thing. I guess the owner came in and asked the GM, where are we with the Saquon thing? And the GM, I don't even know how he has a job, was saying he got a text something about the price went up, but he don't know if it's going to go through. Something about Chicago's driving the price up and Philly's out, but he don't know if it's true. Now, what gets me is the owner. You could see the look on his face. The fact that he came in to ask about it specifically, the look on his face of concern, and he said, "I don't think I will be able to sleep if Saquon goes to Philly." Now, this is the owner. The owner's telling the GM, I don't think I will be able to sleep if Saquon goes to Philly. I'm like, how did y'all let Saquon Barkley get away like that? So I Googled it. And of course, AI likes to provide info for me. AI basically said the Giants could not agree to a long term deal for Saquon Barkley. I'm like, they couldn't? How could they not agree to a long term deal with Saquon Barkley? It's just crazy. I'm looking at this man's stats. In the regular season this year alone, he had 2,000 yards. His career stat year by year, he had over 1,000 yard rushing. So he's been with the Giants his entire career. 2018, 1,300 yards rushing. 2019, 1,003 yards rushing. Now, 2020, he only had 34. I'm going to assume he was injured. 21, he had 500 yards. I'm going to assume he was coming back from an injury. And 22, he had 1,300 yards. In 23, he had 962 yards. In 24, says he was with Philly, he had 2,005 yards. So he had the most yards of his career with the team he just went to. And the team he left couldn't figure out a long term deal of what to do. But they had Daniel Jones that, and they knew what they wanted to do with Daniel Jones year after year after year. So here's the conversation that I'm having, looking at this over and over and over. And like I said, the conversation starts out with the owner, not the GM, the owner walking in to the office of the general manager and asking him, where are we with the Saquon thing? And I'm like, okay, you clearly chose to hire this man. So you have that, I'm going to let him run the company, but there's something going on that I'm concerned about. So I'm going to walk in as the owner and ask the GM, so where are we with the Saquon thing? And the GM is not saying where we are with it. He's saying where the other teams are with it. He's essentially saying Chicago is driving up the price, um, and that Philly's out. But he don't know if that's true. Well, I guess it wasn't true because we just watched Philadelphia get to the Super Bowl, and Saquon Barkley was an integral piece of getting to the Super Bowl. So I don't know how the owner of the Giants is sleeping because he said he wouldn't be able to sleep if Saquon went to Philly, and he went to Philly. So here's my question. Okay, I know people talk about Mr. Jerry Jones being too involved. In fact, Jerry Jones, I think, he is the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. But then, so that's the extreme on one side, side A. Then on the other side, side B, we have a owner who has a general manager who he clearly allows to run the business, but into the ground, into the ground. And I don't know how you are concerned about something, but you don't do anything about it. You basically, it's given passiveness. It's given I'm very passive, but I'm concerned about this issue. And you ask a direct question, where are we with the Saquon thing? And he don't tell us where we are. He don't tell you. He don't answer you directly. He tells you where the other teams are. That Philly is out, but he doesn't know that to be true. And Saquon is in Philly cutting up. They going to the Super Bowl, and he's an integral piece of that. So y'all mad at Jerry Jones for meddling. Y'all say he's not gonna ever be good. Dallas Cowboys not gonna ever be good to Jerry Jones is meddling. But we have a owner who allows a GM to run the organization into the ground, even though he's concerned about losing, according to the owner, the best player that they have. See, this is would have went totally different. This should have gone, hey, where are we with the Saquon thing? And when he said, well, Chicago is driving up the price and Philly's out. No, so here you didn't hear me. Where are we? What we doing with Saquon Barkley? Not what Chicago's doing, not what Philly's doing. What are we doing? See, that's how you know the man, unfortunately, must be passive. And I don't know why he implicitly trusts these people year after year, because it's been over a decade and they are running this organization into the ground. And I would love to get some feedback on how he feels now with Philly going to the Super Bowl and Saquon Barkley potentially being the league's MVP. Anybody know? Let me know. All right. That's the intro for what she said. Today is the Tuesday night podcast, 8 p.m. daily podcast. Most times we are Colorado Buff fans getting together, discussing the latest and the greatest updates with our Buffs. Right now, we are immersed in the Shrine Bowl. We have our players, Colorado Buffs. We have LaJohntay, Will Shepherd, Cameron Silver Craig, Shiloh Sanders. Let's see, not Will, Shador Sanders, as well as Jimmy Horn Jr., all in Arlington, preparing for the East West Shrine Bowl. Now, it is one of the senior bowls that's out there. It's not the only one. There's also a Reese's Senior Bowl. So I'll probably find out more about that, but I don't think we have any players in that game. So, of course, we as Buff fans are glued to the day-to-day updates from the practices, how our Buffs are doing in Arlington ahead of the game. So the game is Thursday. So mark your calendars for this Thursday. It's on an NFL network. Check the local listing, 7:30, 8 p.m. Eastern. I feel like all of the press is bringing more eyes to the Shrine Bowl. I can't say I've ever watched it. Somebody asked me what was it. I was like, it's kind of like a Pro Bowl for college players, and it's not the only one. Like I said, you have the Reese's Bowl. So welcome to what she said. All right, so good news came out. We're on day 3 of the Shrine Bowl, and I heard this, I think, last night or probably last night, that a lot of the scouts actually think that Jimmy Horn Jr. could come off the board earlier than they anticipated. So y'all remember Jimmy Horn Jr. is one of our star wide receivers. Colorado had an elite wide receiver core, and Jimmy got hurt, so he was out for the most of the season. And people were worried, thinking Jimmy should go back to college, get his draft stock up. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, Colorado's not Jimmy's first school. Secondly, he didn't just play for 1 year at Colorado. He already had a reputation for being a future NFL receiver. So he has an invite to the combine, and he's at the East West Shrine Bowl. So he's balling out at the Shrine Bowl. Like on day 1, they were like impressed with Jimmy, basically saying, man, we really like Jimmy. Now all of the receivers are getting love. Will Shepherd, 3-handed catch, is getting him, got his social media going around. And then we have LaJohntay balling out. It was already said. LaJohntay earned a bag already. And then, of course, so Jimmy, LaJohntay, and Will Shepherd are the 3 receivers. Now, Shiloh and Cameron Silver Craig are on defense. And I saw with my own 2 eyes a guy with the red cap on. It looked like it had the 49ers logo. And hey, Regina. And he was working out with Shiloh. I haven't seen a lot. I've seen Cameron Seymour Craig out there. I was kind of looking to get some feedback on how he was doing. What are the scouts saying? But I haven't been able to find that. Um, so welcome. It looks like the family's starting to show up. This is we're talking day 3 of the Shrine Bowl, and I started the conversation by talking about a post that I was captivated by of the owner of the New York Giants expressing to the GM that he hired that he wouldn't be able to sleep if Saquon Barkley left the Giants and went to Philly. And I'm like, how's he doing? Because Philly just won the Super Bowl, and it's being reported that people feel like Saquon Barkley should be league MVP. So welcome, welcome, welcome. How's it going? How you doing, Regina? How's everybody else? Thank y'all for coming in. Hit the like button for me. Show us some love. If you want to stay in the background, I'm fine with that too. Thank you for thinking enough of us to actually watch the podcast. So thank you. You good? Okay, I'm good too. Monday was just that. It was just Monday. And thank you for the email, Regina, on the NFL Rookie Watch. I actually already started looking into that. So I was actually looking for it on YouTube because that's where I was kind of doing my research. But I can't wait till next year because all the videos I saw from this year are like top 10 rookies in the league. They had Jaden Daniels, they had other people. So I can't wait until next year to actually see our guys. So I do thank you for that. And Regina did email me. You can email me at what she said at gmail.com. It might be what she said 404. I have to look. So we just chilling tonight. It is Monday night. I normally have an agenda for what I want to discuss, but we always throw out one topic and it hit up straight uptown, then it turned left to the suburbs, then it goes about 36 miles and it comes on back to the city. That's how the conversation goes. And it's always excellent conversation. So tonight, intro, Philly, Super Bowl. I had some pictures. I can't show them here. That's why I got to get back on the other platform. I had some pictures of celebrities wilding out, celebrating after, I guess, some Philly celebrities celebrating after Philly won the ride to the Super Bowl. I did see Coach Prime. Hey, Gracie. I actually have a picture of Coach Prime. That's why I got to get back on the other platform. I already put all of this together, so I might just put it on Instagram. I have a picture of Coach Prime looking snazzy, showing up to the East West Shrine Bowl. Now, I saw a headline regarding Shannon Sharp having a message for Coach Prime, telling Coach Prime, yes, you should go and support your son. So I don't know. I knew that reporters were kind of asking Shador, is it a problem? Is it problematic for your father to be so supportive, this, that, and the other? And Shador was like, well, I didn't know. I didn't know that your dad wasn't supposed to help you. And we talked about this yesterday. That is what dads do. Daddy, father, whatever. That's what you do. You show up for your children when they trying to get to the next level or to the first level, like when they want to ride a bike. What do? You put training wheels on to protect them, and you go out there with them and you ride until they get a sense of balance. And then you step back and you kind of let them get it for themselves. So Coach Prime is at the part where they have a sense of balance. But he had to be integral to this part because Coach Prime knows the NFL. I don't know what y'all thinking. You forgot Coach Prime was in the NFL. So he knows the behind the scenes working on how this works. And when Bronny got drafted, people acted as if nepotism was a new thing. I'm like, there are coaches who are coaches because of their father. So, spare me with that. Coach Prime is doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know what makes Shannon Sharp say, tell Coach Prime, yes, you go show up for your son. I don't know where that came from, but absolutely. And who do we see today? Coach Prime on the sideline looking snazzy with Shador's legendary 2 hoodie. The hoodie y'all see me with, he had that one on. The one that say Buffs on the front with the 2 legendary. I have that one too. Coach Prime had that on. First person he sees, Shiloh. He's talking to Shiloh. I love those pants. I don't know. At first, I was like, where are these pants coming from? Because I was thinking they were like this old school looking pants that everybody used to wear called Zubaz or something like that. I was like, I know Coach Prime not trying to bring the Zubaz back, but I looked at the pants full length and they, wide leg, like straight, like wide leg, like something the skaters wear, skateboarders wear. I was like, I gotta get these. I gotta get these pants because they look nice. So, Coach Prime is there supporting not just Shador, not just Shiloh, Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJounte, Will Shepherd, Cameron Silma Craig. That's what he's supposed to do. That's their coach. So he didn't just show up as a father. Of course, he's a father, but it looks good for Colorado's program to have 6 athletes at the Shrine Bowl and their coach to show up. I like it. And of course, everybody's talking about we might wake up on draft day and see Shador be the number one draft pick, because it's funny how as we get closer and closer to the draft, everything is starting to change. CBS is saying the number one pick isn't Cam Ward, it isn't Shador. It's going to be an edge rusher from Penn State, and that Shador can end up in Vegas. I don't know if Shador going to Vegas. I don't know if he's going to Tennessee. All I know is myself and millions of others will be right there. It will be right there. So Shador is doing well at the Shrine Bowl. He's not playing. I saw one outlet say he opted out. But in actuality, 3 teams asked him to sit out. And those 3 teams, one is Tennessee, the other is the Browns, and the third is the Giants. Now, y'all heard me talk about the Giants when I opened this podcast. I don't know if they have the same GM they had when Saquon Barkley was traded to Philly. But if they do, I stand firm on what I say. No, no. I mean, it's just insane to see an owner being concerned about Saquon Barkley, the owner of the Giants, concerned on camera about this situation. That's what they called it. What's going on with the Saquon thing? And the owner asked the question directly to the GM, and the GM doesn't answer him directly. The GM basically says, well, Chicago's running up the price and Philly's out, but I don't know if that's true. I just got a text, but I don't know if it's true. I'm going to have to make a phone call. That's not what he asked you. The owner asked you, what's going on with Saquon? So what's going on with us? So the owner said, matter of factly, I don't think I'll be able to sleep if Saquon goes to Philly. And y'all know Philly just won a Super Bowl. With whom? Saquon Barkley, who fans are saying should be league MVP. Thumbs up if you think Saquon Barkley should be league MVP. I say so. I think the nominees were like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, I don't know, somebody else. And I don't know if Saquon was on the list, but he should definitely be on the list. But this conversation piggybacks off of what we talked about in the last podcast about owners. Now, people say Jerry Jones is too hands-on. But in my opinion, this owner needed to be more hands-on. If you were and I feel bad for him because he seems like, I'm a smart man. I'm just trying to let y'all do your job. Maybe y'all know better than I do. And you're coming in and you're saying, I don't think I could sleep if Saquon goes to Philly and Saquon goes to Philly. I mean, I'm starting to feel medical malpractice happening right now. Like some serious, like, did you do this on purpose? And I read, because I was intrigued. I watched this post on loop 6 times because even though it said the owner of the Giants, I didn't know who the owner was because in my mind, I can't ever see the owner of a $1 billion industry going to somebody that they hired, concerned about an employee and not getting what he said. I don't think I could sleep if Saquon went to Philly. So what that meant to me was I need you to make Saquon happen to stay here in New York. That's why I had to watch it multiple times. I said, was that the owner? And I was looking at the demeanor of both of the people in the conversation. And it was another man sitting there looking at his watch like, okay, I don't want to be in this room. Like he knew Saquon was going to end up leaving. So the Giants didn't protect Saquon Barkley in Philly where Saquon went in the Super Bowl. But they protected Daniel Jones year after year after year after year. And I asked, why was Saquon Barkley traded to Philly? It said because the Giants could not come to a long-term deal on what to do with him. And y'all say Jerry Jones meddled too much. Jerry need to call up the Giants owner and say, look here, you're going to need to get a little bit more involved in your business affairs because it's people, you can't let people run your business into the ground. That's one of the reasons. Not that I'm saying it's okay, but this is why the Cowboys are a $10 billion organization. And maybe he's like that because of past business dealings. It's a knee jerk reaction. If I take my eyes off of it and let somebody else do it, they going to run it into the ground. It could have happened to him before. That might be why he's like that. But this guy in the Giants, he basically said how he felt, and they didn't care what he thought, and they worked for him. And they running his organization into the ground. All right, so let's see here. Welcome, 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 Regina. Hi, ladies. Gracie. It said, good evening. Welcome, Kiel. It said, Kiel said, yes, the GM's name is Joe Schoen. Oh, Kiel, that's right. You a Giants fan. What the New York Giants, with the New York Giants, and he's the one who told Barkley he could test the market because the Giants were not going to pay an extra $2 million. So he let him walk. Ooh, Kiel Hall, Lamar Jackson. It will be Lamar or Josh Allen will be the MVP. Oh, okay. So Saquon wasn't, I guess he wasn't nominated at the time. I heard someone say they should both be MVP, have a co-MVP. Are you talking about Lamar and Josh, Regina, being co-MVPs? And Kiel said, I drafted him number one, and the owner, Mr. Myra, didn't want Saquon to leave. So he left it in the hands of the GM. That's why he was upset. Why would he leave that? I mean, I watched this. Matter of fact, it's still on my TV. I watched this. This man clearly said, I don't think I could sleep if Saquon goes to Philly. He didn't say Chicago. He said Philly. And the guy told him Philly was out. Saquon actually was reported as saying he had two other offers, I think. I think that was him. He chose Philly. I could be getting that mixed up with somebody else's deal. But it wouldn't surprise me if he had other offers because the GM is like Chicago's running up the price as if he's saying Saquon is not worth the money. I'm like, after that, buddy, you'll be fired. I wake up today, like on Monday, the day after the AFC and NFC championship. I see Saquon Barkley be the integral piece, part of the glue as to getting this team to the Super Bowl. You don't have no job. You fired because you clearly are inept. Letting Saquon walk was insane. Just about as crazy as me voting against the number one defense and Saquon Barkley. What can I say? Nobody's paying me $14 million or $100 million to make personnel decisions. Well, not in that way. So what I'm saying is, it's remarkable to me how an owner could be that concerned that it leads him to the GM's office to ask about it. Then he expresses that I don't think I could sleep, which sounds passive to me. I don't think I could sleep if Saquon goes to Philly. And then he says, I know I've known a lot of players, and he's one of the best players we have. What do you take from that? That means don't let Saquon walk. That's what it meant to me. And I'm like, well, maybe the GM felt like we didn't have enough money for Saquon. That's not what happened. He didn't want to pay Saquon Barkley. That man wouldn't have a job today. I'm sorry. After that game, seeing Philly go win the championship, the NFC. Mm-mm. How do you trust somebody so implicitly who's done nothing but run your organization into the ground? And you want to draft who? Oh, no. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I don't know who you're going to draft, but I hope it ain't who I think it is. Not Travis, not Shador, and as friends of Cam Ward, not him either. You go get an edge rusher or offense. Go get your offensive tackle. Maybe that's what you need. Go get you an offensive tackle. You leave our guys alone because you clearly don't have any appreciation for talent. And talent is not what's driving your decision because they held on to Daniel Jones way too long. And I don't know what finally made them let him go, but it sounds like to me it wasn't a mutual decision. It sounds like somebody had to be forced into sending Daniel Jones on his way. But you let Saquon Barkley go, but you fighting to keep Daniel Jones. Yeah, you're not making no talent decisions for sure. So no, you don't need no good talent coming out this draft. You can have everybody else that didn't get drafted And good luck to them and to you too. That's how I feel. I'm like, no, that's crazy. I just can't get over an owner being like that. When we just talked about how hands on and who's the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, it's just like night and day. One is got his team $10 billion, but he's losing on the field. The other is allowing other people who he's expressed concern for protecting players drive it into the ground. That's just like night and day. I just can't believe it. It said, wasn't traded to Philly. They let him be a free agent. They gave him the franchise tag if he did not want to be franchised for another year. Oh, okay. Regina, yeah, that's crazy to me. So essentially, you're saying that it's not like we gonna send you to Philly. He was a free agent. We could have signed him to a long-term deal. Are you saying Saquon didn't want the deal? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying that the GM couldn't come to the right numbers and Saquon didn't like it and he decided to walk? What the Giants owner gave the general manager and the coach 1 year to get it right. We gon' we gonna fire both of them. That's why we need a quarterback. Giants don't need no quarterback. You need a front office. You need a front office. You don't need no quarterback. You just gonna ruin somebody else's career. I hate to say it. How's a quarterback gonna help you? Who's your running back? Because now that you let Saquon go, who is the running back for the Giants? I know you have Malik Neighbors, but how did the Giants do this year? Everybody want a quarterback, but their organization's front office is trash. So no, you don't need a quarterback. You need a capable and efficient and experienced GM, and you need an owner with some cojones to tell the GM, hey, you need to put some restraints on him because he's not helping the organization to grow positively. It's shrinkage and it is bad. It's just bad. And I think Philly played the Giants after Saquon went to Philly, and I think it was like 28-3. Well, Kiel, good luck as a Giants fan because looking at that exchange, you would have thought the person that was sitting down in the chair talking was the owner, and the person coming in with his hands in his pockets asking his question was the GM. To me, the GM had more power than the owner in that particular scenario. It says what the Giants owner, it says 6 years, Daniel Jones, he was too hesitant in the pocket. He made too many mistakes. Okay, I remember that draft with Daniel Jones. I remember distinctly that draft. Nobody that was a Giants fan at the time wanted Daniel Jones. Well, the majority of the people wanted Daniel Haskins. May he rest in peace. I remember because they had, what was that guy's name? Shepard. Sterling Shepard. People thought Haskins and Shepard were going to be the duo for the Giants. But it turned out that Haskins went to Washington and Jones went to the Giants, and people didn't really seem to like the pick. That's what I recall. They felt like it wasn't picked based off of talent. That's just, I think if I recall, how many quarterbacks before Daniel Jones was one of the Manning brothers? And because I think it was a Manning brother, and then was Daniel Jones the first pick after the Manning's brother? One of the Mannings. I don't know which one it was. I'm gonna go with Eli. Um, and I feel like people were saying the culture of the organization, they wanted somebody else that was more like the Mannings rather than like Haskins. That was the conversation at the time. I remember that. I don't even know what it was, but I never forget it because people really were not happy with that choice. And it's the fact that they kept Daniel Jones as long as they did and as terrible as they were. It's a head scratcher. It's like, so you don't want to win. Same thing we talked about with Dallas. So that's where we were with the New York. Really, we're not talking about the Giants. We're talking about Saquon Barkley. People wanted him to be MVP, and that Philly is going to the Super Bowl. And I had some photos of celebrities. So we had Morris Chestnut. Do y'all know who Morris Chestnut is? Thumbs up if you do. So Morris Chestnut apparently was on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. So you know how Miley typically sits in the middle? So instead of the trio being Shannon, Miley, and Stephen A., it was Stephen A., Morris Chestnut, and Shannon Sharp. So people were commenting. They said, "Y'all better hope, Mark Chestnut wants to stay an actor, because if he ever decide to be a broadcaster, y'all gonna lose y'all jobs." He was good, and he knows football, and he's a Philly fan, and he's a Saquon Barkley fan. So there's like a Photoshop of him after I keep saying the Super Bowl win, after the NFC Championship, and he has it's like basically Saquon Barkley, but with Morris Chestnut face, because he's a big Saquon fan. Then of course Kevin Hart was, going wild doing his thing. There were nice pictures of Kevin Hart and his son and his wife before his youngest son, before the game. But after the game, you could see Kevin celebrating. I saw Coach Dawn Staley. She was going somewhere on a private jet. She had all Philly green. She was watching the game on her iPad. I don't know where she was going. And then I saw was it Gilly? It was either Gilly or Wallow in the locker room after the game with the team going crazy. It's on my story. So y'all can go to what she said on IG and go through my stories, and you'll see everything I'm talking about. So yeah, Philly is excited. Like I haven't heard much about the Kansas fans. They go so often. But Philly acts like they haven't been in a decade. You would think this is the first time they've been to the Super Bowl. And then I saw a press conference with Jalen Hurts. And I'm thinking that's from this year. So it was, because he had his chain on. He got a new chain. I forgot what he say. And he had the comments in shambles. He had the comments in shambles. He walks up to the table. He sit down. You can hear the jury. And he says, "So that's what y'all wanted, huh?" And then the women went nuts. They were talking about anything other than football, because he is handsome. Everybody love talking about how handsome he is. But he talking about, "So this what y'all want, huh?" I'm like, nah, I didn't know he had a deep voice like that. So, I put that in my stories too. So y'all gonna have to go over there and flip through the stories. But he had the women in shambles, honey. That's who they gonna be watching the Super Bowl for. They don't care who win or lose. They love them some Jalen Hurts. So, everybody's excited. Philly is bringing the enthusiasm in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Everybody talking about Kendrick Lamar. 13 days, 13 days. He's bringing Scissor on the halftime show. Tip, if you're gonna be at home or anywhere and you can see the game, but then you have, like, before the game start or after the game, or you have two devices during the game, uh Earth Cam has two cameras fixated on Bourbon Street 24/7. Rain, snow, sleet. I saw him out there skiing in the French Quarters. I'm from New Orleans, so I feel like that's what keeps me plugged in. And one is on the balcony looking down, and one is street view. If you want to, during the Super Bowl weekend or the whole week of the Super Bowl, you just want to see what's going on behind the scenes, just go to Earth Cam, type in New Orleans, Bourbon Street French Quarter cameras, and pick the one you want to watch. So that's just a little tip from Manola Girl. All right, let me see what y'all got going in here. Let's see. Thank you, James. It says, "What up, fam? What's up, fam? Oh, you at work? Okay, we'll try not to disturb you. Thank you for checking in from work." Queen T, I absolutely love Morris Chestnut. Yes, he's a fan favorite for sure. Kiel said 100% right. We did not want Daniel Jones. The only reason the quarterback coach that Peyton Manning, I'm sorry, I was the wrong one, had in college became the head coach at Duke. That's where Daniel Jones played. Okay. Thank you for that insight. I want to tell y'all, I love the fact that some of y'all are in certain cities. Because if I find somebody on the ground in New Orleans, because I was gonna go, but after the situation, I didn't feel comfortable. So we gonna tap in with y'all when y'all are in these cities as best as we can. So y'all gonna have to make sure you're gonna get your little camera skills going and record it. And I'll throw you something nice so we can bring that video back to the chat. So it said Hertz is so humble. He seemed like it. They said he lived, matter of fact, the house that he bought in Houston is in Humble, Texas. It's humble, but the H is silent. And sometimes that's why I have to think before I say it, because I'm saying the city of humble, but it's humble. It's humble. He bought a house for $325,000, as much money as he makes. And they were saying that's how modest he is of a person. He didn't go out and buy um a mega mansion that he clearly could have. He bought a regular house in the suburbs. You wouldn't even know it was his house. It's just a regular, it looked like something he probably grew up in. And I was thinking, well, maybe this the family house. They said, nope, it cost $325,000, and that's what he wanted. So, and y'all know he is an Omega. He's a Q. Any Qs in the chat? He's an Omega. And normally when he dresses up a game, sometimes, he'll wear the purple or whatever. But his last outfit, I told somebody, I said he looked like a OGQ coming in here dressed like that. He looked nice though. He always looked nice. Um, so yeah, that's what we're talking about. Super Bowl. We talking about day 3 of Coach Prime on day 3 is at the Shrine Bowl. Are y'all planning to watch the Shrine Bowl? Thumbs up, because if I can watch it while I'm live, of course I plan to do that. It said the NFL Network, so I don't have that. Unless they come on YouTube TV, then I could watch it. Thank y'all. Get the likes up for me. I see 7 people. I see 3 likes. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you don't stay long, you can hit the like button on your way in or your way out. Thank y'all for joining us. It is the Tuesday. Well, no, it's Monday. It's the 8:00 chat. It's Monday, the 8:00 live stream. We're just having free conversation. I had an agenda. I still do. But sometimes our conversations, I tell people they head north uptown, they go left at the light to the suburbs, then they come all the way back to Atlanta to the city. So what is that in Timothy Chalamet? Who is that? Dawn Staley is playing Tennessee tonight, and she got on green. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. She must be from Philly, I'm assuming, or she just a Philly fan. Timothy Chalamet. Who is that? Queen T, you're gonna have to enlighten us. I'm gonna have to look this person up. And then we're gonna get back to the Shrine Bowl. Let's see. Timothy Chalamet. Is he a Philly fan? Timothy Chalamet. Oh, okay. He's an actor, I see. Is he a Philly fan? He's an actor and a film producer. He's a French American actor. I don't know. I'm assuming that he's a Philly fan. So you're gonna have to tell us. So how's everybody doing? Let me just check the pulse of everybody that's in the chat. I know it was Monday. Some people may have been up late celebrating the Philly win. I was not one of them, but I just wanted to, I'm definitely rooting for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I hope y'all know I do have a dog in this fight. I want the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs. But most of all, I want to see the halftime show. Are y'all excited about the halftime show? I found some content. I can't share this platform. That's why I got to get this other platform to work. So if you go on YouTube, there's a video. The title of it, if Kendrick Lamar had a choir for the Super Bowl. So they put together all of like Kendrick Lamar's they put together like a playlist for Kendrick Lamar of his music, and it was a choir, and they sang it. When I tell y'all, I was like, this is a good idea. I hope he does it. They did like the true rendition of his music, but it was a choir singing it. So imagine a choir, which typically sounds angelic, singing Kendrick Lamar music. And so Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be bringing SZA on with him, but they going on tour together, so I'm not surprised. Now, did y'all hear that supposedly he can't sing Not Like Us? Did y'all hear anything about that? You know how you hear something once and you don't hear it again, so you kind of dismiss it? Maybe it's just chatter. I kind of thought that he would start with we gonna be all right. Like, we gonna be all right considering the times that we live in. And this January, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I kind of thought he would start with a song like that. Let's see. Kendrick Lamar's set list for the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar's set list for the Super Bowl. Gracie, you say you going for the Eagles too? Okay. So Kendrick Lamar is being pressured over Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. It says seemingly a halftime ad will suggest that he will perform. He is going to perform Not Like Us. So aside from Drake trying to stop it by suing UMG, which they've asked for it to be dismissed, and I don't know if it was dismissed or not. All of this that Drake has hurling at the label is because of Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl. And not just performing at the Super Bowl, performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. And there was talk that at one point he wasn't going to be able to perform the song. And I was like, I only heard that once. But then I heard SZA was added. So I was like, well, maybe he changing up his set list since something about the song, maybe he can't perform it. But now it's being said that there's an ad out there. Because as we get closer to the week of the Super Bowl, it's 13 days. So it's a whole week needs to go by, and they just gonna start bombarding us with ads, and we're gonna start because I'm starting to see more and more like teasers for the halftime show. So then there'll be more and more ads. So we'll probably get to see this ad of him that suggests that he is gonna perform Not Like Us. So yeah, it looked like he gonna perform it. So it says Queen T. Hey, I'm sorry, I was driving, and I remember Timothy Chalamet was broadcasting with the college football broadcasters, and he did an excellent job. He's going to take somebody's job as well. Oh, the actor, kind of like what we talking about with Morris Chestnut. Okay, yeah, said he's a French American actor. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, Morris Chestnut. I think they're gonna have him back more often. I have a feeling we're gonna start seeing him pop up a little more. Okay, so we can talk about the Shrine Bowl. So let me know if y'all can see my phone. I'm gonna show this to y'all. First of all, can y'all see this? I put this together. Can you see my phone? I put this together. This is Coach Prime. When Coach Prime was being drafted. I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know if you can see it. That's Coach Prime when he's being drafted. You probably can't see it because of the light. But I put together a bunch of photos for y'all. I put together this is like a trailer of the guys from the Shrine Bowl. I've been over here working. And then Coach Prime in his pants. I like those pants. Did y'all see those pants Coach Prime had on? They were cute. You see it? Okay, thank you, Regina. You see it? Okay, okay, good. All right. So this is the one I did with Coach Prime and Coach Prime's daily message today. Now, I don't think it's specific to anyone, but I generally post them, so I'm gonna read it. It says the greatest job security in the world is performance. You need to do what you do extreme at an extreme level under pressure when you don't feel like it and when you don't feel up to it. And when others gaslight, what does it say? Oh, when others delight in seeing you fail. Oh, wow. So you still need to perform when others, want to see you fail. That's when you separate yourself and identify others that you are. That's when you identify the others that you are the one. So perform. So for the guys, I guess that's at the Shrine Bowl. That's kind of like for them. Even when people try to take you down, you still got to perform at top level. Even when they want you to fail, you still got to perform at top level. So you can't let all of that get into your mental. And sometimes I think I heard it was a Shador on game day. He wasn't on social media. Sometimes he wasn't on social media for the whole week. Just because he tried to block out the noise. I kind of think that's a good idea for professional athletes. It says excited about the halftime show, but I think they're gonna let the Chiefs win this one. They're gonna let the Chiefs win. Oh Lord, don't let James hear you say that. James, did you hear what Kiel said? James was in his feelings yesterday when we were saying the Chiefs win. Somebody actually posted yesterday. They went back over one of the plays for the Chiefs game, the Chiefs and the Bills, and they felt like it was rigged. I hear people say that. I don't really like get into it too much. But there are some people that feel like for marketing purposes, the league wants certain teams to go. If y'all have an opinion about it, let me know. But I didn't see anything yesterday. Mind you, I didn't watch the game. I wasn't 100% focused on the game. I did feel like the Bills kind of let loose, like just let it go at the end when they had an opportunity. But I don't really know. It says they want them to make history. What kind of history would they make? A three-peat, a five-peat, or something like that? That's what you mean, Regina? They want the Chiefs to get like a three-peat or something? Why the Eagles so excited like they haven't been to the Super Bowl in 3 decades? I looked at their records. They had been to the Super Bowl. Maybe because they didn't win or something. Any Philly fans, let me know. I'm supporting the Eagles, but I'm not a Philly fan, meaning I don't know the history of the organization. So if anybody knows the history of the organization, please let me know. All right. So in addition to Coach Prime being at the Shrine Bowl, I watched Coach Prime last night on Stephen Colbert. Did any of you watch it? It's a late night talk show. Y'all already know he was on a national show called Good Morning America. He was on the Cherish. No, he was on Tamron Hall. And then I think he was on Stephen Colbert last night. So I told you I was gonna watch it. So I did. Of course, it started out with Coach Prime talking about, his history. But he talked about the history of being the kids' coach and how Shador was 5, but they said he was 6 because he wasn't ripping and running back and forth to different practices. I'm like, I can totally relate. And that, but let me tell you what stood out to me. What stood out to me was Coach Prime talked about how when he was in college, he said he knew when he was in college, he was going to be, when he had a game like a because he played basketball, he played baseball and football. He knew when he had any game, he was going to be successful in the game. And he knew that he was going to be interviewed by the reporter. So Coach Prime said what he used to do while he was in college is put together these, like, how them euphemisms and colloquialisms that he has. He said he used to write them all out, come up with them, like develop them, write them out, and practice them every day. He said, so when they finally started interviewing me, I was ready. So that got me thinking about how these athletes, like all the guys we want to go to the draft and the ones we don't know, how it's on them. They have to do like Coach Prime. And it's essentially Coach Prime was turning himself into a brand back in college. Um, and that's what these athletes need to do. They need to use their social media, not just for outfit of the day or steal shots of them at the game or in the game. You have to actually cultivate an audience, because I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of these teams are looking like, one of the reasons they like Shador, in addition to the fact that he is a baller, he brings star power. He brings an audience. He has 2.5 million viewers just on IG alone. And Travis does now too. And for people that look at Shador and say, oh, his dad's Coach Prime, or he grew up a celebrity, Travis didn't. And Travis has 2 some odd million as well. And look at what he's worked his way up to. And Travis, not his couples page, but when he did start his own Travis Hunter page, he uses that page. He used that page to build and cultivate an audience and a brand. Every game, he will post like a game vlog, going, coming, signing autograph, this, that, and the other. So basically every week people had a chance to look for that. And then they cut it up into shorts. So my thing is, if Travis can do it, then that's what you have to do too. And it's not just because he's the number one player in the country. Like Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith is a freshman, right, at Ohio State. How do we know Jeremiah Smith? Well, I know because I went to look up his IG, and his nickname is Primetime JJ. But the point is, if he wasn't in a national championship, just because he was the number one wide receiver in college, in high school, doesn't mean you're going to be on a team that gets you to the natty. The point is, he has social media, he's using it, he has Nintendo sponsors, etc. You have to have that. And I've looked at a lot of players recently, just doing research from a couple of different universities. They don't have it. They don't have posts beyond, I committed to this school. I'm like, you just played a whole season of ball and you don't have anything. So if you like Coach Prime, follow Coach Prime. He was cultivating a brand in college, getting ready to be interviewed. So now you have to cultivate a brand to get ready so you can get drafted. Y'all don't think these teams actually look at social media accounts, and if you're good and you got to choose between 2 players, you got 1 draft spot, you got 1 undrafted free agent walk on, and you look at the social, they both can throw, they both can catch, right? So I'm gonna look at your social media and see why I should bring you into my organization over this other guy if the talent is equal. One has 500,000 followers and one has 1 picture posted and no followers and no engagement. Which one you think the team gonna take if the talent is equal? I'm gonna take the one that's gonna bring me 500,000 fans. Because as I said when I started this conversation, this is a business. This is a business. You want to play a sport for money, but it is a business to them, right? So that's what I got from Coach Prime being on Stephen Colbert. He talked about his history, how him getting drafted meant his mom never had to work another day in her life. But the takeaway was Coach Prime, all of this marketing we see, he turned himself into a brand in college. That's the message. It says the league doesn't care about what team win because the league as a whole benefits. As a matter of fact, this is from James. Hey, James. As a matter of fact, they send the worst teams winning percentage wise to market in their international games. Oh, like they're trying to grow an audience overseas. And then it says, James said his dad said he did all of that without social media. Who are you talking about? James, who did all of that without social media? And then it says, Folkworm says 4 times. Okay, so this will be their 4th time going to the Super Bowl, or this will be a three-peat. So somewhere between Folkswarmer and Kiel, that's what the conversation I'm trying to figure out too. 4 times and a three-peat. So, I mean, I think they'll make history. I don't know who's going to win. I have to really sit down because, okay, question. And this is us talking about the Super Bowl. Does Kansas City have an answer for Saquon Barkley? Because clearly that's the common denominator there. Oh, Prime. Last night he said he promoted himself without social media. Right. I agree with that. He did all of that without social media. And I do believe one of the reasons that they wanted him to come from Jackson State, it wasn't just because he went to the Celebration Bowl twice. It was all that attention he brought to that university. Tell me I'm wrong. All of the ESPN eyes, the NFL eyes, because remember, he was not happy at Jackson State his year one when they didn't draft anybody from an HBCU period. And then what started happening? And it's reported there are 3 HBCU players at the Shrine Bowl. I saw one person's name, but I saw a comment that said there are 3. And see what I'm saying? It's happening. And look at everything that has transpired afterwards. So it wasn't just because he took a program from nothing into something. It was the money factor too. And you see he go to Colorado right off the rip, they make $90 million. And their college applications are up 51% with African American students. And overall, just overall. And Coach Prime taught a class, I think, to their B school. I think it was on finance or NIL or something like that. So yeah, he promoted himself without social media. So if you're a professional athlete or parent, some of us, parents have kids that, are athletes, y'all got to get those pages going when those kids are young. You don't have to show every aspect of your life. But if you have a kid and you spending all of this money on camps, shoes, clothes, just so the kid can ball out. I don't care if it's baseball, softball, volleyball, because I know volleyball, these traveling sports leagues are expensive. Golf, all of that. If you're spending the money so they can play the sport, then you need to help as a parent create a page that parents manage for that athlete to follow that athlete and start their branding young. That's where these brand deals can also come from. And it's not illegal for somebody like Disney to approach, the DMs and say, hey, we'd like to talk to you about a business opportunity. You don't need an agent for that. You just need social media, something that they can look at, and a brand, something they can identify if it will be a good partnership to collaborate. That's what you need. Patrick Mahomes' 4th ring incoming. Okay, folks, Mama is definitely a Chiefs fan. Okay, would this be Jalen Hurts' first Super Bowl ring? Does anybody know? I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know. I'm not gonna pretend to know. So while y'all answer that question, so I saw a post, I put it in my stories. Um, Shador, let me see if I can show it. Shador, somebody took Shador photo and photoshopped him into like a Titans uniform, and he was asked, I don't know who asked him this question, but what if the Titans drafted him? And he said he'd be thankful. He said, I'm thankful if they would draft me. I think they should draft him and Jimmy. And I do think the two of them, I think two people going together. And I do think that one is Jimmy. And it was said overnight that the scouts, the first day we heard, oh, they like Jimmy. Everybody liked Jimmy as the scouts. That's what the report was. We're day 3. And now it's being said he could come off the board earlier than anticipated. I already said LeJounte should be a late first round draft pick. But I had a post that I turned into something. That's why I want to get on a platform where I can share, we can screen share and stuff. So y'all can see. Where is it? Let's see. I think it said that LaJonte and Jimmy are gonna, here it is right here. LaJonte and Jimmy are easily top receivers. It said very easily, maybe the best two in the entire Shrine Bowl, hands down. Um, and that came out of that. So I think I saw Will Shepherd. I think his post, I had a video to clip I want to share while I'm switching platforms. So when you see me on a different platform and I'm trying it out, just let's roll with it. Because I got to be able to share this content because I do think it helps that y'all see some of this stuff. But Will Shepherd was shown catching. He posted it on his page. He was I guess the photo was captured. He had a 3-finger catch. He used 3 of his fingers to actually catch the ball. So I don't think it's just LaJonte and Jimmy. I do think that all 3 of them are getting drafted. But I do think that Shador and possibly Jimmy are going to the same team. But now that more teams are starting to show more interest in saying that Jimmy can move up, he might go somewhere else. But Jimmy did have a towel. You know how when they working out, they have a little towel in the back? Guess what it was? Legendary. Them two going together. I don't care. They are going to the same team. At least I'm praying. That's my prayer. So that's my prayer. So, yep. It said, what does it say? Pat Mahomes first, 4th ring incoming. James said this is Jalen Hurts first. And that means it's fair to say that Saquon Barkley has not won a ring either. Carson Wentz was the QB when Philly last won it. Oh, okay. He filled in for injured Nick Foles. Oh, okay, James. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. So Thursday, Thursday is the Shrine Bowl. I can never remember if it's 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I know it's on the NFL Network. Let's see. What time is the Shrine Bowl Thursday? Let's see. I feel like I've asked this question 10 times. Let's see. The Shrine Bowl Thursday. It is 8 p.m. Okay. So the Pro Bowl also has activity on Thursday at 7 p.m. or 7:30. They're gonna do the skills challenge on Thursday for the Pro Bowl. Do y'all watch the Pro Bowl? I'll be live. So if I can see it, we're gonna have to talk about it. I like the flag football part, but on Thursday it said the skill challenge for the Pro Bowl is like at 7 or 7:30. And I remember thinking, oh, that's the same day as the Shrine Bowl. But then I also remembered the NFL seems to be a sponsor. Did y'all notice that the NFL seems to be a sponsor of the Shrine Bowl? Or is that normal? Is it just new to me? I've seen the NFL logo everywhere. And I noticed they are not running concurrent with NFL activities. Like I think when the NFC championship was on, I don't think nothing was going on. Nobody was talking about anything in particular. Then they're back today. The Pro Bowl has activity Thursday. It's staggered. The timing is staggered. I don't know how long the skills challenge will last. And then they showed Coach Warren Sapp going to some like Alonzo Mourning has some type of tournament. So it's all kind of stuff going on. But I get the feeling the Shrine Bowl is sponsored by the NFL. Yep, Thursday, January 30th, 8 p.m. But it says NFL Network. I'm hoping that that's YouTube. Oh, the Reese's Bowl. Let's see. The Reese's Bowl is somewhere too. And it's NFL Network exclusive coverage. And then they have all the scouts there. Does anybody know if at the Reese's Senior Bowl, is it the same setup as the Shrine Bowl? You have all the scouts from the teams come? They say all the coaches are from the NFL and the bowl game. Okay, so yeah, they sponsored by the NFL. It said the Reese's Bowl. What? How was that set up? When is the Reese's Senior Bowl? And do y'all know if anybody went to that? I don't know if nobody from Colorado went to that. I don't think. Now the Reese's Senior Bowl is Saturday, February 1st at 2:30 in Mobile, Alabama. Anybody near Mobile, Alabama? If you do, drive by and get us a photo. It said it's the Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. I haven't heard people talk about that much, so I don't know if it's one of those scouting opportunities, but I would think it was. I would think it was. They actually said the bowl game, the Alamo Bowl, that there will be scouts watching the players from Colorado too. So, and then they had the Hula Bowl, and they had scouts there. So I guess all these senior bowls have scouts. All right. So anything noteworthy going on this week other than I guess the Shrine Bowl? We already know the Eagles going to New Orleans. I'm sure I'll start seeing some coverage come out of New Orleans for that. If I can get it, I'm definitely gonna share it. So I've been testing out this other platform, trying to use like a dedicated Wi-Fi and trying to see if it's consistently up. If it's consistently up and can handle videos, then I'm gonna switch to that. That way I can share some of the stuff that I'm talking to y'all about. Anything else? A noteworthy topic that we could talk about? We're hour in. Let me know. Let's see what somebody said. We did all. It said all the coaches from the NFL and Senior Bowl. Okay, no, I guess that's it. Well, maybe that's it tonight, guys. Maybe we keep it short. It is Monday. Maybe some people got to get to the gym, eat dinner, what have you. So I guess we'll just keep it short. And I guess we'll catch up tomorrow, Tuesday, see if there's any breaking news. Any more, try to get more updates from the Shrine Bowl. I don't know if I'm gonna find out about the Senior Bowl. If I do, I'll definitely come your way with it. And I guess just get ready for the halftime show and the Super Bowl. So we'll have a good night, everybody. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button on your way out if you already didn't. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see y'all next time.